I will tell a small story. I don't know if this is a real incident that happened. Could be a real incident. There was a guru in the banks, it was living on the banks of a river. And on the other bank of the river was a city, small town. So this guru was not very, very popular as such, not a orator, not a speaker as such. Just a simple man, let's say you can say Ramakrishna Paramahansa probably. But he had many devotees who used to come from the town. But the river is in between, so they have to cross the river. To cross the river, there were boats. There was no bridge, there was a boat. So his disciples, devotees, would come from the town, they would cross the river, come to this group and meet him, be with him, satsang, whatever. On one particular day, one of the devotees came and he was looking a little dull, little disturbed, little depressed. And the Guru noticed that and he asked what happened. And the devotee said that today when I was coming by boat, there was a man in the boat who was going on abusing you, who was telling you are a mad person, you are not a spiritual person, you are a fake, you are a fraud. All that they were telling, and I felt very bad. Actually, that's what happens in UK. Then there is a guru, and there is a living guru. For many people, in fact, after the guru died, they suddenly become great. Dead gurus are always great for most people because they don't talk back to you. They just become a photo, and now you can do whatever you want with that photo. So when the guru is alive, when you see their sattvic behavior, that's what sattva is a paradox. When you see, you may think sattva means being like this, being nice, or like, no, it's not necessarily like that. If you see some devotees, you will see eccentric behavior because if you go towards, when it goes to the other extreme, all kinds of things will happen. You cannot put it into some kind of stereotype and say, this is what sattva is. You can't say. For example, look at Shiva. You'll see all kinds of wildness there. You will also see all kinds of civilized things, nice things, pleasant things. You will also see extreme weird things, absurd things. So sattva becomes a paradox. You cannot put it into a definition like this. So when there are some spiritual people like that, who are like that, who don't fit into your definition of normal. Actually, Ramakrishna Paramahansa is a good example. Many of us saw Ramakrishna Paramahansa today, and many of us, if we saw what used to happen in that hall between him and his disciples, you will know this is some rubbish thing is happening. These people are on drugs, and you will run away from that. I guarantee you, many of you, not all of you, because that used to be the scene there. People will be intoxicated, some people will be rolling on the floor, some people will be singing, dancing, all kinds of wild things used to happen there in Ramakrishna Paramahansa's place. Because that also will happen when the life intensity is pitched up high, intoxication also happens. But this is not the same intoxication that happens to you when you become dull. Anyway, there are many, many examples. I can't go into each. So dead gurus are always great for people because you don't see what they are doing. Living gurus, you'll always have probably living people. So somebody was making fun of you, telling you're a fake, you're a fraud, and all that. And I felt very bad. And the guru chastised him. He said, when the other person was scolding me, when he was abusing me, what did you do? The disciple said, no, I didn't do anything, I kept quiet. Maybe because the disciple thought keeping quiet is sattvic. I don't know. I said, I kept quiet, I didn't do anything. I was peaceful, I was calm. And the guru scolded him, saying, why you did not talk back? The man is abusing your guru, can't you talk back? He scolds him. And when he said this, there were many disciples, many other people also in that hall. So everybody heard this guru's instruction. Then they made a stereotype out of that. Now, that is the weakness of the human mind. Whatever you hear, you want to make a rule out of that. Okay, this is what I do. You know Supandi? How many of you know Supandi? Tinkle comment. No. That is what we ultimately slowly become. We try to gather rules from people and we try to apply everywhere and goof things up and become Supandi. They may become very, very complicated Supandi, not a very simplistic Supandi, but ultimately that's where it will go, because unless you have that spark of awareness in you, something is burning, all the information that you have gathered will not help. They will run into some pattern and goof you up anyway. There has to be some spark in you which cannot be substituted by a teaching. You cannot learn awareness, you cannot learn intelligence. Information can be learned, but intelligence, meditating, all this cannot be learned. You have to become that, and there has to be a spark, and that will then see, okay, in this situation, this is what I have to do. That situation, that is what I have to do. That is sattva. Doesn't have a definition. But anyway, when this guru said, these disciples heard this and they made a rule. Okay, when somebody scolds my guru, I have to talk back. Someday, they made a rule. So after a few days, the same incident repeated with another disciple. Somebody abused the guru, insulted the guru when he was coming by boat, and he gave it back nicely to the guru. So he gave it back nicely to that other person who was abusing the guru. And he came back, he came to the guru and he reported very proudly. Guruji, today also same thing happened. Somebody was probably could be the same person. Somebody was insulting you and I gave it back. Nicely I gave it back. I shut him up. And the guru frowned at him and he said, why did you give it back? You should have kept quiet. You should have kept silent. Don't you have control over your mouth? Scolded. And this fellow is probably not a very pious Catholic fellow, so he questioned the Guru Nanak. But that day you said to that fellow that if somebody insults your Guru, why you didn't talk that? You should have talked that. That's what I talked that. And the Guru says that instruction was for him, not for you. This instruction is for you. You keep quiet, you shut up. Why the Guru gave two different instructions to two different people? Because when you are in timidity, when you are in fear, when you are in some kind of introversion, whatever you want to call it, gloominess, dullness, tamas, basically. When you are in some kind of tamas, first you have to be stimulated a little bit. You have to come to rajas. Anger is better than fear. But that doesn't mean it is the ultimate possibility. If somebody is already a very aggressive personality, maybe the second person already was. Maybe he was a fight monger, always looking for some fights over there. Maybe he was that kind of personality. Today was a strong personality. Maybe he was a strong personality, going on having kiss with everybody. So he was already such a personality. And for him, the Guru said, you have to go further. You have to go ahead. When such a person becomes aware of his anger, his aggression, and when he sublimates that, he will not go back to tamas. He will go forward. Something more will happen. It will look contradictory to us only if we look at life as duality. The only thing that is happening is when some tamas is there, the spiritual teacher will invoke rajas. When rajas is there, the spiritual teacher will invoke sattva. And because sattva and tamas have similar characteristics, the listeners will think this is contradictory. They're again asking him to go back to tamas. No. They're asking them to go ahead. And if you see, this is the entire confusion. This accounts for most of the confusion that happens in spiritual forums. See, for example, one of you used the word purpose in the beginning. This also comes under that. When there is some lazy bum, simply loitering, not doing anything, simply having pleasures and going on with his life, for such people, spiritual teachers also may say, of course, we will say, don't you have any purpose in life? Find a purpose in life. Find a purpose. We'll say, find a purpose. But if you become too fixated on that, this is the purpose of life, purpose of life, purpose of life. Spiritual teachers, if you go to spiritual teachers, they will tell there is no purpose to life. Coming alive is the purpose of life. There is no other purpose to life. You coming lively, you becoming lively is the purpose. Life has no other purpose. You are not here for the world's sake. You are not here for anybody's sake. See, spirituality in India, it is called Adhyatma. It is about you. It is about absolutely about you. It is about this flower completely blossoming. It is about this sun shining forth in its full majesty. It is not about somebody else. It is not about what you do somebody else. That may happen as a consequence when this one blossoms. But that is not the purpose of this. The purpose of life is that it has to blossom fully. That is all. There is no other purpose. And you also, this is also something that, don't take this as something that I am telling you. Observe your own self. Whenever you became more lively by yourself for whatever reason, one morning you got up and for some reason you felt very pleasant, very nice, very lively. That day nothing will bother you. You don't want that to be in that particular way only. You don't want that the person to talk in that particular way only. Nothing will matter. The moment there is liveliness here, you won't even seek a purpose. You will be just fine. But because of your liveliness, you will do, okay, this is needed now, I will do this. But you will not call that as your purpose. You will not become, that go get a kind of personality. You will not become going to that rajas. So, when there is somebody who is in tamas, who is living an indisciplined life, simply loitering, and simply going after pleasures, then they will tell, find a purpose, be disciplined. All these words actually. Find a purpose, discipline yourself. This is your duty. All this is not the ultimate thing in life. This is all things which you are supposed to tell people who are in tamas. But slowly we have started treating them as the ultimate possibility, have we not? We talk of duty as the highest word in life. Discipline is the highest word in life. Purpose is the highest word in life. Willpower is the highest word in life. These are not the highest words. These are all the intermediate ones. When you are in tamas, all these have to be used. See, if I tell you, not used, for example. Now, you are married and you have a wife, you have a husband. Suppose your wife or husband asks you, why do you love me so much? And if you say, that is because it is my duty. What is the meaning of that? You don't love somebody because it is your duty, because it immediately means, I don't want to do it. I don't want to actually do it, but because it is duty, I'm doing it. No, when you are loving to somebody, that is not your duty. It will become your natural quality. That is how it is supposed to be, naturally. That is how human beings are supposed to be. Don't find an intellectual justification for it. The purpose of my life is you. No, the purpose of life is not you. Then you will start using that other person as a crutch for your liveliness. And slowly things will start turning ugly. The moment you use anything outside for your liveliness, to stimulate your liveliness, it will invariably turn ugly after some time, because they will not be according to you completely. They will fail to fulfill that stimulation after some time. So all these things can be told in the intermediate range. You can say taking care of your wife is your duty, fulfill your purpose, and all that you can say. For somebody who is a total lazy bum, who is totally irresponsible, and all those people you can tell. But once some maturity comes, you are supposed to see this is not it. There is something more. I was in tamas, I came to rajas, now I have to go towards something more. Same thing with many things. I gave a few examples now. Same thing with learning also. Learning is another word which has been glorified a lot. That also is because when you are in dullness, when you are not learning anything, people will say you have to learn, you have to learn more and more things. And slowly we will start glorifying learning as the ultimate possibility of life. That is a problem. We will say learning is an endless thing. You have to keep learning your whole life. It is true. There is endless things to learn. But that's not ultimate possibility. There is something more you can do. Becoming meditative is not happening because of the learning. Meditation is not learning. It is just a realization. Life simply suddenly becoming bright is not a learning. It is an experience. It's an immediate experience which makes you feel fulfilled, which gives you clarity, which gives you many things. This cannot be substituted by learning, no matter how much you learn. Clarity of perception cannot be substituted by learning. Actually, if you don't have the clarity, some spark in you, the more you learn, the more confused you will be. The more information will confuse you, finally. So information is useful only as long as there is a very stable, bright, clear handling of it. Otherwise, information will cloud you, it will take you to dullness, it will make you tamas only. More information will finally make you tamas. But more and more knowledge will finally make you tamas. Because it will shroud your awareness. Knowledge will become like the cataract. Finally, the knowledge itself will block you. You will see through everything with that conditioning. You will not be able to see anything. So knowledge is something that has to be kept aside. If you use it, it is good. If you want it, you can use it. But first and foremost thing is that meditativeness, clarity, sattva has to happen. And the purpose of yoga is that.